Hello and welcome back to Retro Rampage, and we're here with the conclusion of Retro Rampage Horror Month. We kind of just wanted to go over, some of the games we played, as well as some other games that we didn't have the chance to play. But first, I think we covered a pretty broad range.
Some interesting shit, some stuff that was a little off the wall, and stuff that carried a horror theme well, whether it was scary or not. I mean, Darkstalkers isn't really scary. But, all the characters in the game are elements of monsters and Halloween-esque characters.
And that's the same reason why we threw in, Wanpaku Graffiti and Kid Dracula, because even though they're not scary games, they have those traditional horror motifs.
Yeah, and they're also, they're pretty much just spoofs of actual horror-based games. Obviously, Splatterhouse in the Castlevania series. Dracula backwards, as a child. His childhood. It did Doom, of course. Doom
is a vampire.
Of course, we did Doom. Doom's fantastic, and Doom was horrifying.
Doom was scary.
Trying to get to work on your DOS computer back then was equally horrifying, but a good time nonetheless.
Yeah, back in the day when you counted your RAM in kilobytes. And we also had some other games, honorable mentions.
Honorable.
One I wanted to bring up was Fatal Frame, because that game's terrifying. You have no weapons. You have a fucking camera. And there's all kinds of crazy fucking spirits, especially Crimson Butterfly.
Oh, that game scared the fucking shit out of me.
So, you see all kinds of crazy shit through the lens of this fucking camera, and that's your weapon to defeat the enemy. So, there's that feeling of helplessness that really goes along with that.
Another cool one is Sweet Home for the Famicom, which was Capcom's original Resident Evil style game, even though it played like an RPG / shadow game.
And it was based around a movie that was released, I think, the same year.
Yeah,
with
so it was
a
that, but
similar story.
Resident Evil drew a lot of inspiration from that game.
Yeah. That was where, their traditional horror elements came from.
So if you're a big Resident Evil fan, you gloat how much you love Resident Evil, then you need to play Sweet Home. And if you're just stuck on playing Resident Evil 5 and 6, you suck. It had to be said, I'm sorry. But.
Yeah, 5 and 6 were fucking ass. And then you also have the Clock Tower series, which is one of my favorites, because the Scissor Man is just such an awesome enemy.
Yeah.
It's a short little dude with a massive pair of scissors just lopping people's
heads off. And once again, the whole theme of being helpless just plays into it, because you can't fight back. You're a young girl.
Especially in the Super Famicom version, where even though it's like a side-scrolling point-and-click type thing, a lot of horror elements were there. There's different ways you can die. There's like a mirror where if you interact with it, like a hand comes out and just chokes you to death and shit. And that feeling of helplessness, because all you can do is hide and use the environment to help you. So that definitely had a lot of the traditional horror elements that we were looking for. But obviously we don't fucking own it.
we got a request to do it, but we don't own it. Yeah. And everyone's cash poor right now, so no repros are getting bought this week.
Not any week soon for that matter.
Yeah. Well, not even cash for as much as just we've had enough shit to pay for recently. So
and then there was
pro cards.
There was an arcade game that I really did want to play, but it's too hard to get everything set up and all that shit. I hate to make excuses.
And there'd be like two people. I'd be like, what?
Oh yeah,
Night Slashers. That game's awesome.
But yeah, check out Night Slashers. If you have MAME or something, check it out. It's a really cool, horror-themed beat-em-up.
Right now, there's one dude in Montana that's like, fucking A, guys.
Fucking A, Night Slashers. I played that at a pizza shop in 87.
And then his mom called him upstairs for dinner, sadly. But moving on.
And then, of course, you have the entire fucking spectrum of sci-fi horror games. Like, you got the Dead Space series, obviously the Doom series, which we played, but that same realm.
Alien Trilogy is a personal favorite of mine.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of sci-fi shit, but that's a whole different month time, and there's too much time we could dedicate to that.
Now you guys are probably saying, okay, but you didn't fucking bring up Resident Evil or Silent Hill, and that's where we're going next.
Yeah.
Resident Evil and Silent Hill are both two major horror franchises that we really wanted to do something with, but it would have just been so involved.
It would have been the whole month's project.
There's so many games in each series that we would want to cover, because, they both have a pretty large library of good games.
Except for the Survivor games of Resident Evil. They can...
Why did you even mention them?
It had to be said. It's horror month, man. There's some scary shit.
Shut the fuck up, you.
I think it's a pain in the ass.
So, speaking of Resident Evil... what is your favorite game in the series? I know it's a hard call.
I really played the shit out of the first games. The first game to me is one of
not the director's cut.
Not the director's cut. Not with the ass music changes or anything like that. Just the very Yeah, I don't know why.
Sounds like somebody took a dump on a fucking Mario Paint mouse and made a song and
then backed over the pianist that fucking wrote the composition, and that was the end of it with the truck.
Shit.
But I don't know. Resident Evil 1 and 2 are kind of a split for me, but I might have to go with 2.
Yeah,
2 scared the shit out of me, especially when you had second scenario and Man X was coming around. And he had warning music, and there was one time I was playing, and I had the sound muted because I was listening to something else, and I turned a corner, and he was right there, and he pretty much fisted my mouth with his... It was over, yeah. That scared the shit out of me. That was about 3 o'clock in the morning, probably listening to some kind of death metal or something.
Listening to 9 Inch Nails and playing Resident Evil 2.
Plus, the whole addition of the second scenario kind of threw me back when I played it for the first time. So, I mean, obviously, like 3, 4 was incredible when it came out.
Oh, yeah.
But I think I'd have to go with 2.
I think my personal favorite would have to be the very first Resident Evil, because that was my induction into the world of survival horror. I mean, like, yes, the FMV opening was fucking terrible, horribly desynced. Joseph! But still.
Hey, if we still quote it to this day, obviously we enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the obvious memorable moment from that one is, like, when you hear... Or when you're walking down that hallway and the dogs come through the window. I mean, I fucking shat myself.
You know what scene fucked me up in that game? When you get to the lab, near the end of the lab, and you have to go in the power room and power up the lab.
Yeah.
Or the generator, and there's chimera monsters that are climbing all over the ceiling, and they chase you through the 3 rooms.
God damn it, yes.
Yeah, nope.
Yeah,
Godzilla, nope for that one.
So now that'll bring us to our next segment. What is your favorite scary part from the Resident Evil series? What is the scariest part from the Resident Evil series?
I'd have to go with either the Man X incidents I had or the chimeras, and because that shit. I used to dread going to that laboratory, and I played it a million times, and every time I went into that generator room, I was running and not looking back. I don't even think I've ever killed them unless they landed in front of me. I just booked the fuck out of there.
Shit. I'd have to say my scariest moment from the Resident Evil series is probably when the hunters come out. And when you go back into the mansion, you know that one part where it's like you go up the stairs, there's a landing, and then there's a hallway.
Yep,
and you can see the hunter.
Or the keypads on the wall.
You can see the hunter in the hallway, and you know he's going to fuck you up the second you go up the stairs. So it's like, shit, you're fucking putting ammo back into the shotgun. You're, fucking making sure you've got herbs ready. Because the second you turn that corner, you've got to blast this son of a bitch. And I probably died there 1,000 times.
Yeah, I've been murked there a couple times.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, because, I was an infant. I had the fucking motor skills of a Keebler elf at the point in time. But still,
Are you talking about the part with the keypad and the other side, and the right side
I'm talking
of the
about
mansion,
actually
left side,
on the
save
left,
rooms
on the left side where the save room's at the bottom. You see him sitting there with the dullard face.
Yeah.
But then you go up there and he fucking lunges at you and you're dead.
You know what? Now that you bring it up, I think I'm gonna rescind my scariest moment. Scariest moment, the first time I played Resident Evil 1, I didn't have a fucking memory card.
Oh.
Because I rented it when I first got PS1, and I made it all the way to the mansion. Because I played it a couple times at my buddy's house. I made it all the way to the mansion where the hunters were, and I got murked. And I was so terrified of every hunter encounter because there was no way if I got fucked, I was done. And yeah, I got it. They got me.
Oh.
I made it pretty far in the mansion too. It was somewhere on the second floor, and I got jacked.
No saves?
No, I had no memory card.
God. Well, somebody was just saying on Twitter the other day that they beat Resident Evil 2 in like 59 minutes, which is just retarded.
No, I beat that game in, I think, under 3 hours before, like 2 hours something. But no, yeah, I'm not touching 59 minutes.
But now, with Resident Evil beside us, let's jump into Silent Hill.
That game's awesome.
What would you say is your favorite?
Would you really
Silent
have to
Hill
ask
game?
me?
No, because it's probably Silent Hill 1.
I really like the Room too, and everybody hates that game. I thought that game was incredibly done.
I don't know why.
The whole first person in the apartment, the whole story theme of it, the theme of it being outside of Silent Hill, and the way it played on what happened in your dreams.
And that game's fucking terrifying. Having to get the fucking daggers to like keep the ghost
ghost
there.
Yeah, the way
but
the
if you
screen
need
effects
it,
are.
You can take the dagger out, and then it's like, well, I'm gonna come fucking kill you again.
Then
like,
they just follow you around like some terrible clinger nag.
Oh yeah.
They just
There's
drag
no permanently killing them.
They make your brain vibrate. It's bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa. I'm tired of that fucking thing, dude.
God damn it.
That's what you get for not putting the paintings in order, dude. Deal with that bullshit.
I always choose the fucking wrong painting, and then they come at me. God damn it. You'd think I would know. I've done it 1,000
It's the middle-aged and, like, sort of old man one. That
one always fucks me up.
Anyway, continuing.
Now, what would you say is the most terrifying experience you've had with the Silent Hill series? And I think I know where you're going to go with this because it's something that we've talked about at length during one of our drunken stupors.
Was it in the first game?
Yeah, specifically the demo of the first game.
Oh, if you've ever played the PlayStation Underground demo of Silent Hill, it's a slightly altered version of Silent Hill, and it starts you off in the beginning where the alleyway where you get killed.
It was before all the censorship got applied.
So you end up going to the school, and the music they play is just way different. It's a lot creepier, and the babies that come at you with the knives, they mumble to you. They mumble, "Help me, help me, help me, help me," and they grab at you and make this squealing sound. And I played that demo a couple times, and I was so amped to get that game, but also mortified at what it was going to be like.
Yeah. Now, if I were to pick a favorite Silent Hill, I would probably have to go with the second one. I loved the first game, but I really enjoyed Silent Hill 2. I liked how the enemy design was all, like, cohesive, and they were all representative of, like, different scum and villainy in Silent Hill, and specifically in his memories, like, in his life events. So I think that was really, really awesome, and the last boss fight was, like, uneventful, but at the same time, it also, like, really wrapped up the story. I loved everything about that game. Just, like, the fog and, the radio static when enemies are nearby. That kind of
shit. Everything in the series was just
pissed myself numerous times.
And I think...
With the fucking things that are all walking around like this that, like, really need their back scratched and shit like that. Yeah. Yeah, and then... Scariest part? I don't know. Oh, you know what? Probably in Silent Hill 2, when you get locked in the room with Pyramid Head and he's fucking invincible and you just have to, like, survive. Yeah, that fucking... I was like, how am I going to kill this? I have a fucking pea shooter. It's not happening. Yeah, so I ran around crying like a little girl in that scene, and then I eventually got past it and beat the game, but that's probably my scariest part.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, buddy. Yo, Ryan. Yo. Are you fucking kidding me? This cliche? Ryan. 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 Really? Let's see. Obviously, Ryan's Converge New York Hardcore hoodie. His hat. Oh, what the fuck is this? Oh, are you fucking kidding me? I thought I ended you. What the fuck? You're dead. Why are you still here? Oh god, what is it, like Chronicles of the Sword hiding in this fucker too? Oh no. No. You're kidding me, right? Look, dude. I get it, man. I know Silent 2 wasn't my favorite, but it's decent. I like it. It's just... I'm not a fan of monsters. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Happy Halloween! Now go get drunk.
Peace, fuckers.